We're back, Oh, I'm not going to say that. We're back.
You're allowed to swear. This is our podcast. No one can tell us what to do.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, mate, it's good to be back.
It is. I had a great Christmas break, and you know what I felt like Christmas break was, though?
Yeah.
I didn't relax at all. Like, I feel like I didn't do any relaxing. It was just go. And now I'm finally back home and I'm working again. I'm like, have I even relaxed?
Yeah, it's like you just try and cram as much shit into it as you can because you know that it's okay to take time off and not to work. So you try and do as much as you can. You're like, yeah, this day I'll chill out. And then someone's like, oh, you want to go for a beer? Do you want to go to the pub? Do you want to go play golf? Do you want to go and do X, Y, and Z? And then you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
Mate, it was ridiculous. I think I played golf from the moment I got down. I played golf every single day and drank beers at the pub every single day. And every day I'm like, oh, just got to have a break. And then in between that was like taking client meetings and editing photos and stuff. It was just ruthless.
So it was more of just day-to-day life, essentially, just with more golf.
Yeah, more golf. Yeah.
No, that's good, but at least you kind of like made most of it. I mean, there'll come a time throughout the year where the weather will probably be pretty average and then you might cut back a little bit and that could be like your rest time. But when the sun's out, you come down to see family and friends like
Sunday comes out.
Sun's comes out.
Yeah. How'd you go over Christmas? I know we saw each other, but how'd you go other than that?
Good. Similar to you. Played a lot of golf. Probably did a little bit of relaxing now that I think back on it. It's kind of one of those things that doesn't feel like maybe that's what you've done until you look back at it. But yeah, went away for New Year's with a group of friends. Went camping up at Lake Eildon, which was cool.
You went to Eildon?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Eildon?
We went to where did we go to? It was near Devil's Cove. It was whichever one was next to Devil's Cove. I can't remember.
I don't even know why I asked. I have no clue about Lake Eildon.
I thought you were about to say that you were there as well and that we could have been like at the same campsite. We had no idea.
I've been there once my whole life and it was just because of family boating trip when I was like maybe 9. I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but yeah, we went up there and then went across and saw my old man at our cabin and then went up to Echuca to see Rachel's sister and her partner and their mates. Came back for 2 days and then went on a 4-day little golf trip with my best mate, which was cool. Played some new courses. Had a beer at the at Hotham pub, Mount Hotham pub, which I think is like the tallest pub in Victoria. Maybe could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, you played golf in Mount Hotham.
We did tee off from the top of Mount Hotham.
Bullshit.
That was pretty cool.
What's the course's name?
Oh, there's no course up there. It's just a lookout.
You just had a hit. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then we went to, had a beer up there. And then, played some courses and stuff throughout. It was good. It was really good. And then stuck back into it on Monday.
That's fantastic. That really is just fucking fantastic. Is that up near like Omeo? Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. So it's like 45 minutes to an hour from Omeo. So we went Wangaratta, Bright, through Hotham, stayed in Omeo, played at Omeo, and then drove home. So it's a great alpine road. That's what we did.
I know. The whole time you were still like replying to my messages pretty frequently. So I didn't even realize that you were out playing golf.
Well, we played most mornings and we played like the first day we played Druin and then went up straight away that afternoon. And then we played like 10 o'clock the next day, 9 a.m. I think, 8:15 was Bright tee off, which is a beautiful golf course. And Bright's a beautiful part of the world. And then, Omeo was pretty early as well. So we would get them get them done in and out and then just go and enjoy whatever else afterwards.
It's actually, I feel like we have heaps of golf chat on this channel.
No, we should just turn it into a golf podcast. Become YouTube golfers, like terrible YouTube golfers.
Honestly, every day I come on and I go, I don't even know why I take photos anymore. I should just be a professional golfer because that's all I talk about and that's all I look at. So,
yep. Well, should we discuss wedding things then instead? Do what we're supposed to do?
Yeah. Should we jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in.
People are scared that they're going to offend someone.
Told you, timeless is the photo. Editorial is the style. Timeless is not a the aisle is not a racetrack. Like, don't run down it. This goes for you and your bridesmaids. I think my goal for the year was to post 300 pieces of content for the year.
That's a lot.
So, and it's setting an excessive goal, because I feel as though if I set 100 and I hit 80 or 75, I'd be like, oh, that's okay. But I was like, if I set 300 and I post 220 pieces, I'm going to double plus what I was. That's the way that I look at it.
Shoot for the moon, land in the stars.
100%. So, and I found now that it's more so of just get something out and post something, as opposed to like making sure it's 100% perfect and like this needs 100,000 views or this needs to get this or that. And it's good because now I still look at the metrics, because you still want to see if your stuff pops off. And I've had reels posted lately that have got like 500 views. And I'm just like, you know what? It's fine, because if I posted one reel and I got 500 views, I'd only get 500 views for the month. But if I posted 10 reels and they all got 500, then I get 5,000 views for the month. It's like, well, look at it that way instead. So yeah, bits and pieces like that. Even when I go to the gym, I'm trying not to take into the concept of going to the gym to like look at me trying to be a big beefcake fucking hot boy. I just look at it as like, go to the gym. It's just another thing to do. Go tick your workout off. You're going to feel better that day. And obviously you do it over time, it'll compound and then you'll look better over time. So just trying to take like the long road on certain things so that I don't lose interest in the short term like I normally would.
Yeah. It's been like, like long-term minded rather than short set.
Yeah. Because like
it's really good.
I always go to the gym and I go for like a month and a half and start to see results, and then something happens, I get lazy and I stop going. Or I'll post a couple of bits of content and then I'll be busy and then I'll stop. And then I stop for like 3 months and then start again. So it's like just trying to focus on like, okay, well, if I did one piece a day or did bulk of something, if I just keep posting that out over 6 months, it'll compound so much more than like stopping and starting over 6 months.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to see, like, you just have one day and from start to finish and you just see how much bits of content you can polish and finish in that whole day? Like if it's shit, good, bad, like you just see how many you can get done in that day.
I've tried to do it before, but I'll never stick to it. So now I'm trying to split it up. So it's like one day I'll generate, like I'm always like generating ideas, but I'll sit down and make a conscious effort for like an hour or so just to churn out some ideas. Mm-hmm. And then on another day or even that same day, I'll kind of select which ones that I like. And then the day that I record, I will kind of like plan out what I'm going to say. And I'll be like, even if it's 5 reels, like if it's just 5 of them, kind of plan out what I'm going to say, record them, and then either later that day edit them or another day throughout the week edit them. So I'm trying to make it so that it's a more constant habit that I do, even if it is broken up. Because I find if I try to do like one big day and say it's going to be this day, something else will pop up, work will get busy, someone will call me, I can't be fucked setting the cameras up or whatever it might be, and then I just won't do it. So it's kind of like, all right, I can probably set aside an hour to generate some ideas. I can probably set aside an hour just to record, and I can probably set aside an hour just to edit. If I go like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then everything's ready for Monday the next week, I'm just trying to do it that way to make it more sustainable.
You are a very organized person, and it's good to see.
I'm
just
not.
You are, mate.
This is me making a conscious effort to be an organizer.
If I've never seen, well, to be fair, I haven't really worked with many other people, but I haven't seen the level of organization from anyone that I've seen with you. Like I go into a Notion document and I go, what is this kind of laid out brain that he's got here? In my, like, I have, see this? If whiteboard. You could see what's on this whiteboard back there, it's just fucking chaos. It is just pure chaos. But you're very, very organized and you just kind of smashing it out at the start of this year. You look a lot brighter and a lot happier and a lot ready to take on the world.
I feel that way. But I feel though that like I'm the kind of person that has to list everything, like you can see in those Notion docs that we have. It'll be like this topic, dot points, color code for good, for bad. Like that to me is the easiest way that I can do things. It's the same with everything I do. If I try to organize something, I'll just lay everything out as much as possible because my head's so scrambled. I have to get everything out.
Yeah. So what's your goal? It's just 300 bits of content.
No, actually, I can bring them up because I started to write them down. So some of them are. So
your 2025 goals.
2025 goals. Where the fuck did I write? I wrote them down.
Are these just like your work goals or your like
these are more
or life goals?
These are work goals, but I'm trying to I don't know where the document is. Maybe I put it in my phone. I think I put it in my phone. But yeah, I did work ones at the start, and then I think like I've got a couple of ideas. Here we go. All right. So my goals for 2025, this is for work, is generate 250 leads. So one thing I really want to work on is, and like I said,
that's a lot of leads.
Coming from the guy that got half of those in 2 weeks.
Hey. It's about you here.
The whole point of it is just to like set really high goals. And even if I got half of that, it'd probably still double what I did last year in terms of leads. So I want to book 50 weddings. Now this is just for, this isn't like for this year. This could be for 26 and into 27, but just book 50 weddings. I want to book a wedding in New Zealand. I want to book a wedding in Port Douglas, and I want to book another one in Tassie, but I want to try and book something a bit different for Tasmania.
Yeah, okay.
Generate 250 grand of gross profit through the wedding bookings, and booking 50 kind of helps to get there. Post 300 pieces of content. Currently, when I wrote this list, it was at 171, and at the moment I am at it says 173. I thought maybe the reels that we do might add to my total, but they don't. So when you collaborate, I don't know. I thought when you put a collaborative post in there, it might come up as your own one. But I've got stuff already made, so that number.
You should even post them on yours, and then collaborate with Burnout and Broke.
Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. 10,000 streams on the potty for the year. And I would love to book a multi-day wedding, which is something that I'm going to introduce in some packages.
That's fucking cool.
So that's kind of my goals for 2025 work-wise. And we'll just see what happens.
That's so cool. I like that you said the Port Douglas one. I reckon I can help you out with that Port Douglas one right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and I'd be keen to do this. I got to find a date in which I could do it. We should reach out to a Port Douglas venue and put together a free photo video giveaway with a venue.
That'd be cool.
Like a really cool Port Douglas venue.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, and we'll run a giveaway, and we can maybe, if anyone listens to this and wants to partner up, if you're like a celebrant or some acoustic wedding singers and stuff, let us know.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Let's definitely talk about it off camera. I said Port Douglas seems like a little bit of not a left of field spot, but why that out of all the spots. But that's where Rach and I go pretty well every year. That's where our honeymoon was. And it's just I just fucking love it there. So
yeah, I mean, I have no interest in shooting weddings in Port Douglas, but if you want to do it, let's fucking do it.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. I'm in. What about you? What are your goals? You said it you and Amanda hadn't thought too much about it, but you kind of discussed it.
Yeah, I mean, my one goal for this year was to. I originally said I wanted to shoot 50 weddings, but as it stands, I think we're at 40 something, and I don't want to book any more really. And if we do book any more, I kind of want it to be very selected.
Yeah.
So I kind of changed my mind on the 50 weddings.
It's a lot of weddings.
What's that?
It's a lot. That's a big year.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's quite scary actually. I really wanted to hit 200K, but then I realized that that's probably not achievable this year because like I've nearly booked out this year, and like for me to book 200K for this year would basically impossible. I think I'd have to go to like 60 weddings or something.
Could you change, like, instead of just booking it off like what you're charging for a wedding, could you add in other bits and pieces to get you to the 200?
That's probably a good thought. Like, what would you add in? Like
galleries, like you could do couple shoots, like anything from social media.
I don't think I want to shoot anymore.
You don't want to shoot anymore?
Nah, I think I'm pretty happy with the amount of dates we've got to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like a lot of it is traveling. We're overseas a lot, flying a lot. I think we take over 25 flights next year or something, which is fucking crazy.
Next year or this year?
This year, sorry.
Yeah.
So the weddings, I don't think I want to do anymore, but I'm pretty happy with like
what you've got booked.
Yeah, what I've got booked. So
yeah.
But for 2026, I think I really want to like book out that year for a 200K kind of mark, get 200K in there. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to. It's so crazy. I was really keen on doing like destination weddings and things like that. And now that I'm starting to organize all these destination weddings and doing all this stuff, I don't even know if I want to do it anymore. I'm like, this will be cool, like to add to my portfolio and put it there. And with our Instagram, we're getting a lot of inquiries for destination weddings. But saying to Amanda, because I'm nearly 30. Soon, eventually, I'm going to have a family and stuff. And am I really going to want to be traveling all around the world, being a destination wedding photographer? And you're just never home. And like then Amanda wouldn't be able to come as well because she would have to be at home, and it would kind of just be a little bit of
in the exact same boat. I hear where you come from.
Yeah, so I'm like, do I even want this stuff anymore? So a lot of stuff's just like reflecting and working out what we want. But I mean, I don't know. I don't have any goals for this year. Everything that I wanted to do this year, and I'm not being arrogant, has kind of just happened in the first like couple of months. So it's been like pretty much like, oh shit.
I mean, it's been a pretty drastic turn in a good way for you since we started talking, probably mid-November?
Yeah.
November, which is cool.
From middle of last year, me asking you if I should do like a 50% off weddings thing because I needed bookings and to be like to not even finish in January yet and fucking nearly booking out the whole year.
It's crazy. It's good how things. This is why I've been so positive, because it's turned so quick for you, and you always see people when it turns really quickly, and you're like, people that you don't know, and you're like, oh, like it probably just happened so easily for them, and not that it was super hard for you. Like you put some good things in place. I think I've always said to you, your work's really good. I think everyone's starting to recognize that as well. But for me to see you change so quickly, I was like, and things to be on the up so quick, I was like, there's no reason why I can't implement some of the stuff that you've done and have a similar,
I think
growth.
you would have the exact same growth. And it's just time for you at the moment, I think, because you have the roadmap and you know exactly what you need to do. And it's just slowly getting all these things done. And then, and it's kind of like what we were talking about. How annoying is it when you are putting effort into something that you know might not work? But you know that this will work. Yeah,
it's the risk versus the reward. And I think when you want something enough, you can make it happen.
Yeah. So 2025 goals, don't have that much. I do really want to start. We're doing a thing called Undercover Photographer recently, and having heaps of inquiries for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're just not in the price bracket for it.
So what is Undercover Photographer? Please explain.
Undercover Photographer is where I will go to your wedding as like a wedding guest and capture it on film in the perspective of a guest. And I'm allowed to go into like when you're getting ready. I can go into the groom's getting ready, and it's more for like destination type of weddings where we would just go and like capture this wedding from the perspective of a guest and not really tell anyone that we're actually a main photographer. And it just, you know, being
that's
friends.
cool. That's fucking sick.
So heaps of people have reached out for it, but I think people don't understand how expensive film is, travel is and stuff. And when I lay it all out to them, it's just, and I will admit it's really expensive, but like, and we don't make any money from it really, but it's just all the costs and everything together. So I think we need to get into a different price bracket or reach different people. I don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah. That's a really cool idea though. Like I think this will lead into something we'll talk about shortly, but how the landscape will change. And I think that is a really cool way of doing it. Like everyone always promotes candid and natural and all these moments and all this sort of stuff, right? That's what we're all here to do essentially. But that to me seems like the perfect way of doing it. Like if you just want things to be captured as they are, then there probably should be minimal input from us when you think about it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's literally me not even knowing the schedule. And this isn't a substitute for photographers.
Yeah.
This has to be paired with a main photographer because I won't get the main shot of you kissing. Like I won't get that. And I tell that to people. And people have booked undercover photographer. We have some.
Yeah.
But you don't get the main shot of you kissing. You don't get the portrait shoot and stuff. While you guys are doing your couples photos, I'll probably be at cocktail hour.
Yeah.
So it's not that substitute, but you're right because I will become friends with everyone as just like a drunk idiot.
So you'll go to people's weddings to get pissed.
Yeah, basically, and you're just gonna get heaps of fun photos. Yeah.
The concept is cool. I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah. I just think we're going to break into a different market. Anyway, 2025, don't have many goals, but yeah.
That's all right. I think sometimes it can be as good. Obviously it depends on where you're at, but going into it with no big expectations, especially if kind of everything that you are after has sort of come to fruition already.
Oh no, I got something. I've fucking got something.
Sure.
I've actually really got something that I really want to get. I want to get in a considerable amount of publications.
Okay.
Like I really would like that. I want to get an Anti-Bride. I want to get Vogue. I want to get like Harper's Bazaar. I want to get the Alley. I want to get the Lane. I want to get all those things. It's like a Pokemon. Catch them all. I want to get them all. Literally. No, that's how I look at it. I'm like, I want to get them all. I want to got them all.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I wish they did something like that for videography.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
But I mean, like, it's so much easier to publish photo stuff. And I think it's directories like that are, I mean, I don't know a lot about them, but they all seem to be just like, because you've got all these amazing photographers, it's so much easier to market everything because everything just looks phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's really hard for the video. I don't even know how you would do it for video.
No idea. How many Pokemon have you caught?
One so far. We got into a magazine.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's behind me. But we got published in Q Magazine. I'm going to be honest. I didn't fucking do anything to get into it. It was just we took photos of a famous Olympian and shit. Yeah, so I kind of just got kissed on the tip.
Nice
for that one. But you take it, you take it when
when
life gives it to you. You fucking take it.
When life kisses you on the PB, you take it.
Yeah. So that's really exciting. But yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's me. I love that.
Thanks, mate. Should we jump into? Oh, are we going to do that this episode or next episode?
We can do. We were going to do. We thought we'd plan this out. We're going to do. I reckon we go through what our ins and outs are.
Okay.
So what we think our ins and outs for the 2025 year of weddings will be. This could be like styling. This could be photo and video. This can be the way weddings are conducted. So yeah, how do you want to do it? Do you want to list off the ins, like my ins and then your ins in a thing, and then we'll go through them, and then we'll go like do the outs?
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
All right.
Do you want to start us off?
So some of my ins were
Wait, Riley. Guys, we're going to clip farm here.
What
are your 2025 wedding ins and outs?
Vintage videography, candid photography, smaller intimate weddings, more of your guests being included in your film, and because I'm trying to flog the shit out of it, adventure sessions.
I actually rate that. I really like the one that you said, more guests being included in films. I love that.
I feel like it's just like, it's probably a stupid way of saying it, but it obviously is all about the couple, right? It's their wedding. But I feel as though, like, if you're making like an 8-minute film, do you want 8 minutes? Like, if you're getting married, do you want 8 minutes of just you and your vows and stuff? Or would you prefer 8 minutes with all those moments in it, but you can see like all your friends and family, see what they have to say, hear what they have to say, their reactions and all that sorts of stuff. Like, I feel as though that would be more timeless, because you'd be able to hear from, and you can like go into depth and you can ask the couple who you'd prefer to hear from and all these bits and pieces. But I feel as though just hearing from the guests, hearing from family and friends, having audio clips, snippets, like whatever it might be, reactions in your film will just help the couple really see and experience what the guests felt on that day, because people plan big weddings and stuff because they want to spend it with their family and friends. So I assume you should want to hear from them to a degree.
And do this and people steal this idea. I don't care. Copy me. We do this in our videos. We interview all the guests, but we give them, the bride and groom, like the uncut interviews as well. So like, imagine when you're like 60 and you're going back and you're listening about what all your mates said about you at your wedding.
Yeah.
And you 100%. Go like, oh shit, like, because you're so old then, you're like, that's bloody Riley when he was like 28. Like, look at him.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thinking behind it. So yeah, they're my ins. What are your ins for 2025?
Love it. Well, mine's more like styling and stuff as well, and photos, I guess. I think bold colors, massive this year.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of like bold colors. So bold colors. Vintage nods, just having like your little vintage aspects about the day. If it's just like little accents, like vintage cake or like vintage styling through everything. I think drapery will also be really big. But
it's in something else that I have. I have that in there too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think drapery, like I'm really big fan of just, and you probably see this in all of our, because we do lots of inspiration things and like wedding styling stuff. Always have just like big like drapery through everything. I think it's super cool. I love it. And photo wise, I think that moments over perfect photos will be big this year. Like it won't be, if a photo isn't like technically perfect, but there's lots of emotion and the moment speaks, then it's a perfect photo.
Yep.
And creating a feeling rather than like than perfect photos. I think perfect photos are dead, and it's more just like feeling based and emotion based.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a few more, but that's probably enough.
No, keep going. I've got them here. They're good.
Okay.
Throw them out.
I've got private vows as well.
I have that in another. I must have two things. I think I've got something for the next episode.
You've cooked it. You've absolutely cooked
it. No. It's trends. So that's okay. Keep going.
Okay. I got private vows. I think, and me and Manda will probably do this, just like have a thing where a videographer can just capture us like exchanging private vows, maybe in a really, really nice location on like a cliff or something like that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And dad cams.
I love the sound of this. Explain this more.
I think dad cams will be prevalent and Super 8 will kind of get stepped on and get tossed out this way, and dad cams is going to come straight over the top. We're entering our 2000s era, and dad cams are going to come in because we had the 90s and stuff, or 80s. We had the Super 8, we had the film. Now everything's going into the point and shoot flash cameras, dad cams. We're into our 2000s eras. People are wearing the baggy denim shorts again.
Yeah,
we're back.
Old school's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I really like the moments over like perfect shots and the creating a feeling instead of trying to make everything like. I feel like for so long, because maybe the way socials media was, like everyone had to have the perfect photo, perfect composition, perfect colors, lighting, all these bits and pieces. And now that was prevalent for so long, and like that was the thing, that the next thing comes in, and it's like you see people all the time on their socials doing like, dumps, and it's just random photos of shit, and it's just like it's just like, I don't know, for some reason it just has a different feeling to it when it's old or it's imperfect. Maybe because people think they're imperfect and they're not 100%, that they see this, it's more relatable. I don't know, maybe that's just going on a fucking really deep level. But I feel as though that'll be something that'll be awesome, and that's a lot of what I want to do, is just try and. I see a lot of videographers and all their shots like perfectly composed, and they've got all these awesome poses and stuff. I'm like, if it looks cool, no doubt, it looks fucking awesome. But I'm like, I just want to get I just want the other stuff.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong,
it has its place. Don't get me.
You still need those photos in a 100%. Gallery.
Yes, 100%.
Because you're not going to put this vibey, blurry photo on your fridge.
No, it's like you can't just make a story out of like heaps of just cinematic sequences, and you couldn't just make a story out of just like everything that happened that wasn't like set to some sort of like structure or had some form of planning in it, because then it would have no structure because it's not planned. You know what I mean? You need both, but I just like the idea of the fact that you can. The not so glamorous is being like up the ladder.
Yeah, I love it. And I think it has come, but I think it was a little bit too extreme with the I'm not talking about like blurry photos and stuff like that's. I think that came and it was a bit too extreme of like a gallery just full of motion blurred photos where you couldn't really tell what's happening. I'm just talking about like a photo that was you caught soft focus, or like it's focused on someone who's here instead of down there, but down there is where the moment is, Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a video where it's like you can visibly see you like shaking or like zooming in because you like it wasn't a perfect pan or a perfect smooth shot. You can see the shake and everything in the camera.
Yeah.
The moment's there.
Yeah. I've started to notice like there's a couple of overseas videographers that I've watched. Some of them you've sent to me, and I was like, their camera movement has no thought to it. It's not like something that you probably see in a movie or whatnot, but because it just adds something different to like an organic moment. And just something about it just looks fucking cool.
It's so cool.
I think it's because everyone does push pans and all that sort of stuff. It's just unique at the moment. Who knows? It might change, but right now it's pretty fucking cool.
It's coming. It's coming. You watch, and it might even be I love it when I get my videos back from a videographer, and there is literally like him just doing something random with his camera, sees something, and then like clicks onto him, and then a little like crash zoom so he can get in position for the perfect shot. But I think the perfect shot was that bit at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's cool. It's cool.
There's some cool things coming this year.
So what are your outs for 2025 weddings?
So the first one that I had is tradition. I think that it should
fuck it off.
And I feel like I have to say every time that like it has its place. I think that's an out. Saying that everything, like if they have an opinion, just fuck, that's my opinion.
No,
like
wait. I think, do you mean cultural traditions are not out?
No.
But like traditions in general.
Yeah, like you have to have large weddings, and you have to go and do a certain sort of portrait session, or you have to do like just all the cliche stuff that people think they have to do when it comes to planning their wedding, kind of getting rid of that. And like, you don't have to just get married at a winery because that's what all your friends have done, or you don't have to have large guests, or you don't have to have a wedding cake. You don't have to have speeches. You don't like all that sort of stuff. Like you can just, I think people take the route now of everything's a lot more personalized to them. And I'd like to see people do that more, because especially with like how much weddings and that costs, how much coverage of stuff costs, vendors cost, all those sorts of bits and pieces. Do you want to be spending all that money so you can please like 120 guests, or do you prefer to spend a little bit less and do something a little bit unique that's a little bit more down your alley? So yeah, I think just kind of like breaking molds of certain things, and just doing some different stuff. I've also got long speeches. This is just me personally. I'm just not a super fan of sitting there for 45 minutes.
What if it's a good long speech?
Well, that's the thing. It could be a really good short speech. You don't know. It's more that like, I think it goes back to the tradition, the way things are set out. I'm thinking it just purely from a guest perspective of you sit down for say 30 to 40 minutes for the ceremony. You're up, have a couple of drinks, you come back in, you're seated to entrances, and then you sit down to eat, and you can stand up to go and do something. Then you have to sit down again for 40 odd minutes of speeches. Then you sit through the first dance and stuff like that. Like I think for guests, especially if it's warm and you're on the grog, it can kind of, like if I know for me personally, if I had a few beers and a lot of food and I sat down a lot, it'd be like Christmas Day. Like I'd be ready to have a kip on the couch.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
So it's more to, I think, to just have the wedding day roll on a little bit smoother, and I'm sure that you could figure out a way that if you wanted something longer, you could sort that out with parents and people and whoever does speeches. And the next one was overspending. So it comes back to tradition, and all the rest is just not having to do all these grand things because you think it'll do well for socials, or you saw it at your friend's wedding, or whatever it might be. Just if you want to spend 20 grand,
but
at a
it
wedding,
will do good on socials.
Well, it will. Stop counteracting my stuff. It's more just like, don't just spend the money because you feel like you have to do it. And I think it should come down to vendors, maybe even venues, because that's where people are going first. That's where people are getting recommended vendors and stuff from, to say that like, hey, you don't need to spend $500 on a cake. You don't need to spend $20,000 on florals if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't feel the pressure of having to have some glamorous wedding because you saw somebody else have one. Like, your wedding is your wedding, and it should be done. If you want to spend that money, by all means, go for your life. But I think just being like overspending on things that may necessarily not resonate with you, but you could put that money into something that you really want.
Riley, I'm going to be a devil's advocate here.
No.
Here I come. Here comes the devil. Spend all the money you want. Have the biggest glamorous wedding in the world. And you know what? Book me as your photographer as well. I'm all for the flashy, cool weddings with their insane styling, insane flowers.
I think if I was to retweak the word, it would just be, don't overspend on things that you feel as though you have to spend more money on. So do all those things. But if you don't feel like it, if you're like, oh, I'm umming and ahhing about this and it's going to cost me $8,000, be like,
I've worked this out.
If you're umming and ahhing, maybe don't.
This is because Riley is moving into the adventure elopement space, and I want to move into the higher luxury space. This is what two polar opposites right here. I'm saying, fuck it, just pump it up. Oh, get a loan out. Who cares? Just put it on the card.
Put it on the credit card.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Oh, well, no, maybe you're right. But yeah, All
10
right.
grand for an undercover photographer. Put him in there. Put
You're
it on the
thinking-
card. Beep, beep.
You're thinking about this from the perspective of Michael's back pocket.
No. I'm thinking of this of like, because how cool is it when you get to see like the really cool styled weddings where you've got like a really, really good wedding stylist and they've just come and just killed it. And you're like, holy shit, look at this. But obviously if you can't afford that, you shouldn't do it. Or you could still.
Stop backtracking.
You could still
All right.
try it.
You, what are yours? What are your outs?
My outs, I have them. My outs, missing cocktail hour.
Yeah, that's cool.
So and probably not for everyone, but if you want, you could do this as well. We get like 99% of our cool shots as the day is happening. And all those moments in between. So for cocktail hour, we only really need them for like 20 to 30 minutes to just get those kind of mantelpiece photos and then just chuck them back in the pig's pen. Like we just get them back to cocktail hour as quick as possible. I don't think anyone should really be missing it. It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
If I'm at a wedding.
Totally agree.
Another out is booking studios. I think that's the right word. Like booking
agencies.
Booking agencies where you don't know the photographer or you don't know the videographer and you just like their style.
Yeah.
I feel like a photographer and a videographer is going to be with you like the whole day. So like book someone who you get along with and someone you can vibe with. Otherwise your photos, you're not going to feel as comfortable in your photos as you would love.
Yep. And this, just to go off on a side angle, I understand that like a lot of people do have agencies and have people that work under them because couples like to have photo and video from the same place because to them it's just one less thing they have to worry about. Like they're just dealing with one company, but they get the two things. So my preference would be if you're a single photographer, a single videographer, like I am, network and make packages and stuff with other photographers who you like to work with. Because the concept is the exact same, but you know exactly who you're going to get.
Yeah, that's
what I'm trying to do.
That.
Because I've previously done that and I didn't like it.
Yeah. Hey, anyone on the Sunshine Coast who shoots video, slide into my DMs. Really need some help with a videographer who is local because all my videographers, for some reason, are interstate. So if any local, I don't even know if anyone listens to this, but please help me.
Just don't take them all because then I can't go up and see Michael.
Oh, no. You won't get Riley's ones. You won't get the good venues because Riley gets those, but all the other places.
Fuck. What else you got?
What's out?
Yeah. What else you got?
Bad photos.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything, so I just put bad photos.
If you are a terrible photographer, no more photos for you.
I think another out is bridal parties.
Oh, yeah?
Big one. Just have a group of friends. Why does everyone have to be standing up there with you guys?
I think that part falls under that tradition bit that I brought up before.
Yeah. What is the go with that in the first place? Why? What about if you have like a group of 10 mates? You're not going to put 10 people up there. No. And if you do, then your partner has to find 10 people.
Yeah.
Just don't put anyone. You have like one guy who's not even your best man, but just holding your rings for you and that you trust and be like, hey, mate, don't fucking lose these. And he can give you the rings. But other than that, what's the point of a bridal party?
Well, you can still do all like the prep and stuff. Like you said, I did the last wedding that I did for the year last year. They didn't have a bridal party, but they had like people that just got ready with them.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They still had people do speeches for them. There was just the two of them up the front and I loved it. I thought it was great. Not that I would change anything about having my bridal party and stuff like that, but the concept makes perfect sense.
Nah, can them. Get rid of bridal parties. Next one, overly planned days. And this comes back to traditions.
We hate tradition. Get the
We hate
fuck out of
tradition.
here. Go home.
Honestly, picture this is your wedding day. And I know only vendors really listen to this, but if you're a bride and you're listening, picture this as your wedding day.
Picturing.
You wake up just before your makeup artist kind of gets there, have a shower, have some mimosas, makeup gets done, get dressed. What's going on now? We've got the wedding, roll out of bed, go to the wedding, do the wedding, go get some photos, and that's it. So have some speeches and just party with your mates. Like,
we need to make this a public service announcement.
Yeah, well, I can just tell you what I would do for my wedding. Well, what we are going to do. Mm-hmm. We're not even engaged yet, but I know what I'm going to do. We're just having a dinner and a ceremony.
Yeah,
and the ceremony will probably be right next to where the dinner is.
Shit, yeah.
And that's it. And just like a big party. If you want to get up and have a speech, no obligation. You don't have to, but if you do, have a speech. Open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Probably have some live singers, just cause. But I don't think you need to be like, oh, we're doing a cocktail hour and now we're going to go into sit down dinner. And during the dinner, we're going to have this person do a speech, this person do a speech, and this person do a speech. And now we're going to do a cake cut. Now we're going to do a first dance.
I feel like it makes the day go so much faster because you're just trying to tick things off a list.
Yeah.
You kind of lose. Like, how often do you speak to couples and they're like, oh, what time is it? Because this has to happen. And you're kind of like always worrying about the time. You're not worrying about, do I want to go and speak to that group or that group?
Yeah. Like, we'll have a first dance, but I don't know when it'll be.
Just when it feels right.
Just keep an eye out. It'll happen.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as a vendor, unless it's fully disclosed by the couple, it'd be fucking crazy to try and keep up with things.
Vendor is just freaking out. When do we bring dinner out? Photographer doesn't know when to eat. Videographer's trying to set up speeches, doesn't know when it happened. Everyone is just pulsating with sweat.
Keeping everyone on their fucking toes.
Just got about 3 waitresses always waiting at the door. Wait, do I go in? Shit, first dance. Shit.
It's just to take the piss out of everyone. Oh, fucking God.
Don't even know when the ceremony is. Everyone's just constantly waiting.
Everyone rocks up and you got married 4 days ago.
Nah, mate, we done the vows already. Rings already been done. Sorry. Yeah, done it now. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh,
anyway, but they're my outs.
I love it. That's really good.
Actually, it's a great thing you just brought up then. Some structure has to happen.
I'm going to have something there. But yeah, I can see what you mean. I don't know how to get it out of my mouth, but I see what you mean.
But I would rather our photographer sit down and eat with us at the table and just take photos from the table and go around, do your like vibe out and stuff and take your photos of all the nice stuff. But imagine if they were just there with you.
Yeah.
And not there as the photographer who's telling you need to go do this, this and this, but there is like a mate of yours.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just saying this because I'm just about to lean into this undercover photographer thing, just marketing.
Yeah, you got to let people know.
But yeah.
I love it. That's a really good idea. That's great. Well, what an episode.
And I think it was a great episode to come back to.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. Bit of shit all over the shop, just like normal.
Yeah, well, it made me realise about that I don't have any goals.
Well, you know what? Should be a goal for others if you're just starting out as a wedding photographer or videographer. Getting a good CRM.
Oh,
who should they use, Michael?
So glad you just said that because our good friends at Studio Ninja Good friends at Studio Ninja. The first thing I ever did when I started my photography business, and a mate of mine had just started his photography business. You know what the first thing he signed up for was?
Studio Ninja.
Studio Ninja. He was asking me, Michael, how do I lock down a client? How do I send them contracts?
How do I know where to go? How do I book them?
How do I get payments easily? And how do I have it all in one spot? And I said, mate, Studio Ninja.
Fuck yeah. If you are in a similar boat or you want to renew your subscription, whatever it may be, you can use the code MFCO50 to receive. What will they receive, Michael?
I forgot, but I think it's 50% off a 12-month subscription to Studio Ninja.
Yes, 50% off 12-month subscription to Studio Ninja. If you use the code MFCO50, and you'll receive 50% off.
That'll rip. And guess what, guys?
What else?
I have never got 50% off Studio Ninja. I've paid for it the whole time. So that's actually a great deal.
It's a ripping deal. Save yourself heaps of coin. Bulk money.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to this show.
This was great. It's good to be back. Good to be back in the flow. We can get some more. We can talk to the peoples.
It's good. It's actually great to see how happy you look.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Feel good. Feel great.
Feel good. Look good. Oh, no. Look good. Feel good.
Look good. Feel good. I've always said that.
All right.
All right. We'll catch you in the next one, peoples. Bye. See you later.